Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 19th December 2021. Let's see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles. First of all, let us take overview of all these articles, then we will discuss them one by one in detail. First of all, mains related articles. On FAQ page, two important articles. Is raising marriage age enough to help girls? So the context of article is recent decision by the cabinet government. It is talking about raising the marriage age of girls to 21 from the present age of 18 years. Okay, so let's understand that proposal, analyze that proposal from GS2 paper social justice part as well as GS1 paper society part and even essay paper. Then UNSC draft on climate. So recently there was a draft resolution in UNSC that was, let's say, having the context of securitizing the climate change. Basically it talked about considering climate change as a security issue. Okay, so we have to analyze from GS2 paper IR. So why some of the countries wants to include this under the mandate of UNSC, United Nations Security Council? Why India along with Russia, they voted against such proposal? Let's understand that. Okay, then Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defence recently gave some recommendations. For example, it says that there is need of 3 naval let's say aircraft carriers, ships. Okay, so indigenous aircraft carriers is required, minimum 3 are required. Along with that, the committee has also proposed, or let's say has said that the locations of islands like Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands, they are strategically located and there should be development of military infrastructure on those islands. They should be used for strategic purpose. Okay, this is important from GS3 paper security part. Specifically for prelims examination, on page number 8, it talks about this article, Gharial reintroduction project in Beas Conservation Reserve in Punjab. Okay, so it is the important initiative of Punjab government and we have to understand the significance of this project. Along with that, basics about Gharial, this species, freshwater crocodile species we can say. Then this is important from environment section. Next is Agni-P missile is test fired by DRDO. So it is important from security and science and technology perspective, defense technology. So basic information about Agni-P missile. Then again Nord Stream 2 is in news. In October month also it was in news. Then there we discussed about this. So here again it is in news. Why? Because Germany has warned Russia that if Russia attacks Ukraine, then it will stop this Nord Stream project. Now this is the pipeline between Russia, natural gas pipeline between Russia and Germany. So we will see that map of this Nord Stream gas pipeline. Then on news in frames, on Sunday's newspaper, they gives the photographs and brief description of those photographs. So it talks about Hill Tiwas tribe of Assam and their, let's say, community way of living, cooperation, and how these, let's say, tribal people are living in a simply we can say community life. Some features about this, it is part of our culture. Okay, so yes, we will try to know about them. And finally practice prelims MCQ. Let's go in detail. Is raising marriage age enough to help girls? Let's analyze this proposal by the government to raise the marriage age, minimum marriage age of women from present existing 18 years to 21 years at par with men. Okay, so yes, what do marriage laws in India say at present? So there are different marriage laws, we know about that, like 1955, personal law, Hindu Marriage Act is there, and here this particular Hindu marriage law says that at present 18 years is required. Then there is Special Marriage Act. and it also says that girls age. The Special Marriage Act 1955, again it was for protecting the couples, so marriages of interfaith nature, intercaste and interfaith we can say. Then the recent one we can say Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, specifically dealing with child marriage, 2006. Now it prohibits or consider the marriage below 18 years or girl child as child marriage. Okay, and prohibits such kind of marriage. Okay, so these are the present situation, and the proposal of the government seeks to change all these provisions and bring a uniformity in that age up to 21. Then what is the purpose of raising the age of marriage? So the purpose or the intention of the government, what government is saying that it will further improve nutritional status of women. At present we know that because of, let's say, early pregnancy, there is impact on not only health of the mother but also the health of child. Underage, or simply we can say early pregnancies are resulting into the stunted and wasted children, and that's why there is also higher infant mortality rate. So basically, to reduce the MMR and IMR, maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, child mortality rate, basically this is going to be the significant step. Then we can talk about the, let's say, educational opportunities, career opportunities. What happens is, because of marriage, the girl child or women are not given the educational opportunities. There is break in education, and that's why they are not realizing their true potential. So it is affecting the, let's say, equality of opportunity concept is affecting them. Okay, so raising the age of marriage will improve the nutritional status. It will help in continuation of their education and career opportunities, and it will delay the pregnancy. When the woman is working, obviously there will be delay in the pregnancies, and there will not be early pregnancies affecting the health of mother and child. Okay, so ultimately the focus here is, we can say, women empowerment. The final result is women empowerment. Fine. So you can write like this. Now, will raising the age of marriage serve this purpose? The stated purpose, whether it will serve, or the, let's say, raising the age of marriage will serve that stated purpose. Let's understand the arguments against or criticism. So we should understand that the coercion are not effective ways to bring social change. The social change should come from within, from the person, from the society, and that's why it has limited effect. Limited effect, for example, simply we can talk about the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. So despite of stringent law in place, the child marriage is rampant and very common. You can say that recent NFHS survey, National Family Health Survey 2019-20 data shows that around 23% of women from age group of 20 to 24 years, so they were married before 18 years of age. They were married before 18 years of age. So this shows that the coercion has not been effective. Okay, so this is very important aspect, but yes, you should understand the positive aspect. Law helps in creating deterrence. Okay, law helps in creating deterrence. One more point in the negative aspect you should understand is that the problem here will be after 18 years of age, like up to 21 years of age, the girl child will be living with the parents. And we know that our society is patriarchal society, and to some extent high restrictions are put on the, let's say, activities of the girl child or simply women in our households. So that means there will be more control up to 21 years of age on the women by the parents or the family, we can say. So that means raising the age of marriage may not serve purpose. Now, will the new proposal make women more vulnerable? So, one point you can mention in terms of vulnerable is the control by the parents or the family members. However, we should understand here that the focus way forward along with law is important. And yes, it is going to be helpful. It is going to be helpful. But along with law, what is required here is awareness about reproductive rights of women, access to health services, educational opportunities, right? So these points are very important, and when the government is simultaneously taking all these measures, so further it is going to bring the attitudinal change in the society. When attitudinal change will be there, obviously there will not be pressure on the parents to get their let's say daughters married off. So basically we should understand the other aspects also. Patriarchal society is there, but then they consider this that there is economic burden of the girl child. Second thing, we should understand the concern of safety and security. So here the responsibility to some extent should be taken by the government also for let's say educational finance for education. Security is very important aspect, right? So when they are addressed along with this law, so then only we can say the appropriate or whatever the purpose is there, that will be achieved. Fine. So we can expect such kind of essay topic also, or in GS1 society part, women and their issues. So it is also part of syllabus. Along with that, the social justice aspect, GS2 paper. Then, why did India reject UNSC draft on climate? Let's understand this. Recently, India along with Russia voted against the UN Security Council draft resolution on considering climate change as a part of mandate of UNSC, or let's say considering it as a security issue. Let's understand first of all why the sponsors keen to introduce climate change into UNSC mandate. The countries like Ireland and some of the African countries, especially in Sahara, Sub-Sahara region, so they let's say supported this particular draft resolution, and what they consider that climate change is a security issue. It is resulting into human conflicts. Why? Because of, let's say, changes in rainfall pattern, and because of this, what we can more frequent droughts and flood situation, crop failure. This is very common, and there is increasing pressure on the food grain production. Along with that, the water resources. So there will be fight for water resources, as the water resources are going to be less, they are going to be scarce. Along with that, there will be refugee crisis in near future. migration, refugee crisis. That's why climate refugees, the new term emerged here. Along with that, we should also consider the problem related to disasters and natural disasters and vulnerability to these disasters. Ultimately, that is going to affect all these countries and further may promote the violence against certain people, the refugee crisis, and that's why the climate change should be considered under UNSC mandate. So UNSC is having the mandate of ensuring peace and security around the world. Okay, and that's why they are calling climate change as a part of security aspect. Okay, now why did India vote with Russia against this proposal? First thing we should understand is that India says that it is narrow proposition. That is, it is not part of UNSC mandate. UNSC mandate is very limited and therefore the climate change, which is a very broader term, it should not be looked from the narrow proposition. Okay. The next aspect we should understand here is that UNSC is already, let's say, having the membership of industrialized countries, industrial countries, and giving mandate to UNSC to take decision on climate change, obviously that is going to further reduce that debate on climate change to only industrial countries, and therefore who is going to get affected? Developing and underdeveloped countries. Their voice may not be heard or listened to. Along with that, already in UNSC there is wedge created by two groups, one led by USA, and in that group US, UK, France is there, other is now Russia, China is there. So obviously there will not be substantial decision making there. Fourth thing we should understand is that UNFCCC, which works on the consensus basis, is a right platform for climate change, wherein the voices of developing and underdeveloped countries will be equally heard, equally weighted. Right. So that's why India considered that the UNFCCC is the right platform for dealing with climate change, and it has given results, though in a slow manner. Okay, so we have Kyoto Protocol, we have Paris Agreement, it is outcome of UNFCCC, though we can say that the slow process is there, but the consensus based process, acceptable to all, this is very important. Okay, so that's why, will the climate security proposal be reviewed and resubmitted? The next aspect we should understand. So the kind of, let's say, support witnessed to this particular proposal in UNSC. So what happened here? Out of 15 plus permanent 5 and the remaining non-permanent 10, 12 members supported. Only India and Russia voted against, China abstained. So that means there is substantial majority support to such kind of proposal. In future we can expect that there will be redesigning and resubmitting of such proposal, calling climate security or climate change as a part of security. Okay, so what India proposed here, India proposed that instead of calling completely climate change as a part of UNSC, there should be limited proposal. Limited in a sense, suppose we are talking about Africa region, Sub-Sahara region. So there the major problem and major conflicts are happening because of scarcity of resources, water resources, food resources, and that's why the impact of climate change is going to be severe in that region. So there can be such resolution on specific area basis, but this has not been accepted at present. In future India may accept such kind of proposal if it is there. Okay, so let's understand the question, whether there is need of securitizing climate change. Argue in the context of recent UNSC draft resolution on the issue. So arguments in support, arguments against, and then the final decision here or opinion. 3 aircraft carriers must House panel. So here the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defence gave some recommendations, two important recommendations. It is saying that the 3 aircraft carriers will considerably enhance combat capabilities of Navy. How? 1 aircraft carrier on the eastern coast, 1 aircraft carrier on the western coast. However, suppose 1 aircraft is, let's say, required some kind of repairment or repairs, maintenance. So for that purpose, the 3rd aircraft carrier will take place of that. Okay, so this manner, that's why minimum 3 aircraft carriers are required. This is the proposal. Along with that, it noted some of the islands are strategically favorable located on both sides of India's coast, suited for blocking and dominating the ingress routes provided. Runways there are made operational. Okay, so for example, the government of India or armed forces are supporting Niti Aayog initiative of developing joint user airfield in Minikoy, okay, in Lakshadweep. Along with that, Ministry of Civil Aviation and Airport Authority of India project for development of Agati airfield is also being supported. So that means we know that the major trade route passes through Indian Ocean region and very much near to peninsula, Indian Peninsula region, and that's why, so as to increase our maritime domain awareness, maritime capabilities, we need to ensure such kind of let's say material support, we can say that, by having such indigenously built naval ships or aircraft carriers. Along with that, the support of Air Force. Fine. Now after 50 years, gharials alive and kicking in Beas Reserve. So Beas Conservation Reserve in Punjab. So earlier it was thought that the gharial is extinct in that region, but now through this reintroduction program of the Punjab government, so many such gharials have been reintroduced, and now we can expect that in near future their population will increase. Okay, so these gharials were commonly sighted in Beas River till 1960s, but later became extinct. At present, gharial, let's say, largely are found in Chambal and their tributary, and even Ganga, Yamuna and their tributaries. Okay, what are the threats to gharial in Punjab? Change in hydrology due to construction of dams and barrages. Many dams and barrages are built across all let's say 5 rivers of Punjab region, or simply we can focus on Beas and Satluj river of Punjab. Then significantly reduce the water flow because of this. Rapid land use change of flood plains and rampant overfishing. All these resulted into extinction of gharial. So why it is significant? It is significant because gharials are topmost predators of rivers. So basically they are at the top of food chain, river food chain or river ecological food chain. So that's why their protection is important to maintain the overall health of river ecology. So that means the presence of gharials indicate the healthy riverine ecosystem, right? So that's why the protection is very important. Now some additional information. National Chambal Sanctuary. National Chambal Sanctuary, or it is Gharial Sanctuary, formed in 1979 for protection and breeding of gharials. Now its area lies in 3 states, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan. It is the only tri-state riverine protected area in the country. Okay, so obviously in environment section, protected areas is important part of our syllabus. About gharial, already UPSC asked the question. Gharial is critically endangered species and the Schedule 1 species of Protection Act, Wildlife Protection Act. It is not only found in India but also Bangladesh and Nepal. This sanctuary is home to national aquatic animal, that is Gangetic dolphins also. Okay. Now DRDO tests Agni P missile for the second time. Now this is being called as new generation nuclear capable ballistic missile. Some basic features: two-stage canisterized solid propellant missile with dual redundant navigation and guidance system and has range up to 2000 km. Okay, so we know about Agni 1, Agni 2, Agni 3, 4 and 5, which is ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile. This is the new age, we can say new generation nuclear capable missile. Along with that, the Agni P is new generation advanced variant of Agni class with improved parameters and including maneuvering and accuracy. Okay, now canisterization of missile reduces the time required to launch the missile while improving storage of the fuel and ease of handling. Okay, so this is the benefit of canisterized missiles. There can be question in prelims examination like this. Now, Germany, Nord Stream won't open if Russia attacks Ukraine. That's why it is in news. But again, from geography mapping perspective, you should be aware about such kind of pipelines being constructed, underwater, let's say pipelines. So here you can see Russia, this is Baltic Sea. The Baltic Sea is, we can say that north of Baltic Sea, these are Baltic countries. So we know that Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, Finland is located. Through this Baltic Sea, Russia has already constructed Nord Stream 1. You can see in the red color, Vyobag to Greifswald. Again now the recent one, Nord Stream 2, to increase the capacity, that is increase the import of this natural gas from Russia to this Germany and other countries from Germany in the Western Europe. This pipeline is being constructed, Nord Stream 2. Okay, so it is from Russia to Germany. Fine, remember the names of the countries. Now, talking about that news in frames, photographs. Hill Tiwas tribe of Assam. It is located or inhabiting foothills of Karbi Anglong district of Assam near Meghalaya. So you can see in the photographs how they are, let's say, enjoying during the harvest period. So basically it is the community life they are living. They come together during paddy cultivation and harvest. They work the land and live almost entirely on its bounties. The rice is their staple food. They also rear animals and poultry for meat and egg, and the tribe enjoys drinking locally brewed rice beer daily. Now, Hill Tiwas do not store harvested paddy in the granaries. They have unique style of storage. Okay, what is that style? You can see they prepare the round frame from the single piece of tree bark called khitri. You can see here, this is khitri. Okay, and dry straw is put inside the khitri before putting the paddy. They preserve the grains inside the bundles of straw called maifur. So you can see this is maifur. Okay, and which is tightly secured by bamboo strips. You can see that. Now harvested paddy is put inside these baskets and kept for future use. Each basket can hold up to about 20 kgs. Men and women carry the maifurs back to their homes singing songs. You can see how they are enjoying this. So cooperative and collective endeavors are strongly developed features of economic activities of Hill Tiwas. Okay, so remember the name of the tribe. It is part of culture and the ethnic diversity that we observe in northeastern states of India. Right? Yes. Now what should be answer to this question? Very simple. Nord Stream, sometimes seen in news, is the natural gas pipeline between which of the following countries? Such kind of question framing happens in our prelims examination. Surely So it is from current affairs. Yes, Nord Stream, just now we have seen that it is natural gas pipeline from Russia to Germany in Baltic Sea. Remember the name of the ocean or sea also, Baltic Sea, Russia, Germany. So that's why A is the correct answer here. Fine. Okay. So these are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Thank you.